This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome to News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. I hope you had a great weekend. It's Monday, October 4th. Well, a Pahrump family is seeking help from the American Red Cross after their home was severely damaged by fire this afternoon. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to what was reported as a well-involved structure fire on Paiute Boulevard this afternoon. Upon arrival, there was already a report of fire coming through the roof of this manufactured home. Fire crews also reported multiple exposures were being threatened at the time, including an RV in the driveway. The residents were able to evacuate with 2 dogs. Traffic was blocked around the scene while the fire crews worked the blaze, which was extensive and caused severe fire and smoke damage. News 25 spoke to the family, who said that they would be speaking to Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue so that they could receive assistance from the American Red Cross. How the fire started is under the investigation of Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue. Valley Electric did arrive on scene to secure the electrical in the area. Well, if you've ever had to ask your boss for a raise, you know it's not always the easiest conversation to have. But then again, your conversation with your supervisor was most likely not made in a public forum like it was for the current county manager, Tim Sutton. For more on this, here's Matthew Davis.
This was most certainly one of the more lively and passionate public comment sections for an agenda item at the most recent Board of County Commissioners meeting.
Right?
Commissioner, if I may.
I'm sorry.
If I may,
the cheese hat.
The disruptive, we have that.
Don't clap, guys.
Comment on it.
You're right.
I apologize for the interruption.
You're right.
But
thank you.
We will stick to the agenda,
Of course.
Remember the lessons that I learned, the tough lessons, and trust in the wrong person. And understand, if they'll you once, they'll do it again.
And please do watch your languaging. That was inappropriate.
The issue at hand is the annual performance review of town manager Tim Sutton and whether or not his job performance entitles him to a 5.25% salary increase. But the public comments section turned into more name-calling and finger-pointing than sticking to the agenda item, something Chairwoman Deborah Strickland had to repeatedly remind others to stick to the agenda item at hand.
Because as an elected official, I did not have the ability to be able to comment on this because I was not approached with the ability to comment on this.
Stop this time for a moment. I want to point out to you that you had the ability to do a review.
No, I didn't.
You didn't do a review?
Nope, it was not sent to me. It was not sent to Deborah Beatty. It was not sent to Sherry Stringer. It was not sent to any other elected department head that I know of.
We should be given full attention, and I feel like that doesn't occur if there's snarky texting going back and forth.
Actions speak louder than words in my world. When I look at the reviews online, I don't see signatures of names of people, which makes them anonymous, which I called them as bogus. If people aren't going to sign their names to this, it's all just a big dog and pony show.
And his quote from Ronald Reagan was, "Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid." And frankly, Mr. Sutton is a good man, and I stand proudly with him. And Mr. Lewis, I hope you're still listening. I did sign my name to my letter of support for him, so everybody knows exactly where I stand. Thank you, Madam Chair.
This staff and county manager currently as it is the very best it has ever been. From public works to planning to recording to assessor to everything. We have a ton of progress has been made. And I have to say that Tim has been a very key part of a lot of this.
This single agenda item took up just over 2 hours worth of public comments and comments from county commissioners. After everything was said and done, the board voted to extend the contract for Mr. Sutton, with Commissioners Strickland, Jabor, and Carboni voting in favor of the motion, Commissioner Blundo voting against, and Commissioner Cox abstaining from the vote.
The Nevada Highway Patrol has identified the man killed in a motorcycle crash on State Route 318 in Lincoln County.
Early last Thursday, September 30th, NHP troopers were dispatched to a report of a fatal motorcycle crash on State Route 318 just north of Hico. Troopers say the agency's preliminary investigation determined that a blue Harley-Davidson motorcycle being ridden by 73-year-old William Darby of Las Vegas was traveling southbound on 318 when, for reasons unknown, the motorcycle veered across the highway and into the desert. The motorcycle struck various rocks and shrubs and overturned, ejecting Darby. He died at the scene. Since the person who discovered the crash didn't see it actually happen, investigators say right now they aren't sure when the crash happened. So far this year, the Nevada Highway Patrol Southern Command has investigated 61 fatal crashes, which have claimed the lives of 70 people.
And NHP is investigating a crash here in Pahrump that cut internet service to Suddenlink customers over the weekend. The driver involved was taken into custody on suspicion of DUI.
The crash happened early Sunday morning at the intersection of State Route 372 and West Charleston Park Avenue. Nevada Highway Patrol Trooper Justin Bransky says a red pickup truck traveling eastbound on Charleston Park Avenue failed to decrease its speed as it approached the intersection with 372. The vehicle ran the stop sign and went across 372, striking two roadway signs and a utility pole. Fiber optic communications lines ran along that pole and were severed by the impact, cutting service to Suddenlink customers. Suddenlink has a communications facility at that intersection. Bransky says the male driver of the pickup was unhurt, but Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies at the scene did arrest him on suspicion of driving under the influence. Suddenlink service was interrupted for several hours as crews worked to repair the damage.
Thanks to Brad Francis for that report. Well, the Nye County Sheriff's Office is investigating what led to a two-vehicle crash Sunday afternoon here in town. One person was transported by Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue ground ambulance to Desert View Hospital as a result of a two-vehicle crash that occurred Sunday afternoon on Homestead and Kellogg Road. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, and auxiliary units arrived on scene to find both vehicles in the roadway, one with major damage, the other one with minor damage. How the accident occurred is under the investigation of the Nye County Sheriff's Office. Traffic was diverted around the scene while the investigation and cleanup was underway. Current COVID number and shot clinics right after the break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, there have been 5 confirmed new deaths related to COVID-19 reported since last Monday, September 27th, with one resident of Beatty and the remainder here in Pahrump. There are 57 new COVID-19 positive cases here in Nye County since last week. That's 3 in Beatty, 2 each in Amargosa and Smoky Valley, and the remainder here in town. The total is 4,131 confirmed cases of COVID-19 positive test results since the first one were reported last March. Nye County test positivity rate of 22.1% is the 5th highest in the state. Tonopah Community Health Nurse will host a walk-in COVID-19 vaccine clinic Tuesday, October 5th. That's tomorrow from noon until 4:30 at their office located at 1 Frankie Street. You can give them a call if you have questions. 775-482-6659. No appointment is required. They have all 3 vaccines. And the clinic is held every Tuesday, by the way. They're in Tonopah. And a reminder that Pahrump COVID-19 and flu vaccine clinic will be held this Wednesday, October 6th from 8:30 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, closed for lunch from noon to 1 at the Health Nurse's Office, 1981 East Calvada Boulevard, the Health and Human Services Building. They're giving all 3 vaccines as well. This clinic is held every Wednesday. And upcoming flu clinics in Tonopah, Community Health Nurse, Adult, and Pediatric 6 months and up are available in Tonopah on October 6th. You can go there to their address on 1 Frankie Street. The time is from 2 to 7 p.m. In Goldfield, they're having one on October 7th, and that's at their community center at 511 Kirk Street from 3 to 5 p.m. And in Manhattan, October 13th, and that's at the Manhattan Library from 9:30 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. Round Mountain has partnered with, of course, them on October 13th, and that would be at the same location there in Manhattan at their library. The general store is where they're going to be having one coming up from 2 to 6 p.m. And in Amargosa Valley, COVID and flu shot clinic will be held Monday, October 25th from 9:30 until 11 a.m. at the community center at 1640 East Farm Road. Beatty COVID and flu shot clinics will be held on Thursday, October 28th from 9:30 until 11 a.m. at the community center located at 100A Avenue South. And of course, they have all 3 doses of the vaccine. And the 3rd dose you can also get for moderately to severely immunocompromised individuals is available at all of those. And of course, all of those flu shots and vaccinations for COVID-19 are free. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and according to a recent Cleveland Clinic study, breast cancer survival increases when treatment involving surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation are completed within 38 weeks of the initial diagnosis.
Most of the original time to treatment studies were looking at individual aspects of care. So what was the time from diagnosis to first treatment? What was the time between the different treatments? But we hadn't found any studies that looked at what was the time from diagnosis to completion of all treatment.
Dr. Deborah Pratt is a breast specialist with Cleveland Clinic and the lead author on this study. She says they looked at more than 28,000 breast cancer patients who had surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation as part of their treatment, and they discovered that if all 3 were completed in less than 38 weeks, there was a higher 5-year survival rate. However, if it took longer than that, it did affect their survival. Dr. Pratt says this information builds on previous research noting poorer outcomes when there was a delay in starting treatment. It also emphasizes the need to identify why treatment in some cases is delayed.
Another interesting aspect of the cutoff is that cutoff was good for no matter what type of breast cancer you had. So if you had different receptor patterns of your breast cancer, it didn't make any difference. So we should not triage patients based on their different types of cancers, because every patient can have an effect on their outcome if we're taking too long.
Dr. Pratt says when it comes to detection, women should be regularly doing self-breast exams at home. Mammograms are also recommended for women over the age of 40, whether they have a family history of breast cancer or not.
And the Henderson Chamber of Commerce in the Water Street District invites you to come experience the sights and wonders of all the new businesses and development in their area. Unette Gentry reports.
I'm standing here on Water Street in the heart of downtown Henderson for tonight's event, the Water Street Crawl, where several businesses were featured, several business owners, and the growth of Henderson is the highlight. Are you familiar with a bar crawl? Well, the Henderson Chamber hosted a business crawl, a walk showcasing recent multi-million-dollar development and the revitalization of its historic Water Street district. The Water Street Crawl kicked off with a media preview of delicious menu items from Juan's Flaming Fajitas and previewed many of the crawl's other attractions on Henderson's Water Street.
We're here to celebrate the growth and the rebirth, if you will, of the Water Street District. I expect to see, well, maybe not exponential growth, but huge growth as we grow. I mean, 500 to 1,000 people move to our city every month, and a lot of them will end up in the Water Street District at some point, and we're very happy. So we think the future is quite bright for not only the Water Street District, but the east side of Henderson in general. The crawl was designed by the Henderson Chamber of Commerce to bring more awareness to the Water Street District and all the hardworking mom and pop businesses, if you will, that are here and peacefully coexist and get along with each other. And the whole idea of the crawl tonight is to bring people, expose them to the Water Street District, what we have to offer, because every day, every week that goes by, it seems like there's something new that's on the table. So we're very excited about the future, as I mentioned earlier. Many more buildings are coming. There's one right next to you. And anybody that wants to come to downtown Henderson or Henderson in general, contact the City of Henderson Redevelopment Agency. They've been a wealth of information, and the Henderson Chamber of Commerce, one of the sponsors of our event tonight.
Our first stop, Rainbow Club, a newly renovated casino featuring all beef sliders, fresh tater tots, and refreshing drinks from its world-class bar. Next stop, Sticks Tavern, serving up its famed chicken wings by its proud female business operator. And our final stop, Masterpiece Cuisine, inside Lifeguard Arena, practice facility of the Henderson Silver Knights, the minor league hockey affiliate of the Las Vegas Golden Knights. At Masterpiece Cuisine, crawl participants got to make their own handmade guacamole from the venue's fresh ingredients. A great time was had by all, and there's lots more that you can do and see like this in Henderson.
Why Henderson? What do you have that's unique here that people from Summerlin or North Las Vegas would come here for?
That's a great question. Not to take anything away from one of the all the great communities in our valley here, but I think Henderson has the most sense of community and the down-to-earthness, if you will.
Excellent. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I'd like to say that every day is a great day in the Water Street district of downtown Henderson.
Historic buildings like the Pinnacle on Water Street were also featured. And if you're a regular KPVM viewer, or if you watched our HBO Max special, Small Town News, then you know that we're also potentially moving to Water Street into this very building, possibly making Henderson KPVM's second home, like many other thriving new businesses in the area. In Henderson, for News 25, I'm Unette Gentry.
More news right after this.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, Pets Are Worth Saving, or Paws, is just one of several animal welfare organizations here in the Pahrump Valley. Paws President Tressa Wass says right now they have a lot of pets awaiting for their new forever homes.
This is Bella. She came from the Animal Foundation in Vegas. She's a terrier mix, 7 years old, and this is about as good as you're going to get in a dog. She's super sweet. She's got a ton of personality. We pulled her and 7 other dogs from the Animal Foundation because they had been exposed to parvo and they needed to get them out of there and get them isolated. So we took 8 of them, put them in isolation for a week, and then had them snap tested for parvo, and they all came back clean. So we found most of them homes. We still got Bella and Spot, who came in with her. And I don't know why she gets overlooked. She's got just so much personality. She's just the greatest dog. When she first came in, somebody had taken dental adhesive and sprayed it all over her back and wet it. So it turned into cement, and we had to shave her right down to her skin to get it out. Wow. But her hair's coming back nice, and she's doing well. She also had dental work done and had a couple teeth removed. And she's recovered well from that. And
she's ready to go.
She's ready to go. She is just, like I said, she is just a wonderful little dog. Since June, we've been inundated with so many animals, people losing their homes, dying, going into hospice, that we've gotten more animals than we can handle. Right now we've got 40 dogs between our kennels and foster. We just need to find homes for them, fosters for them. And right now we've had several accidents and illnesses within our volunteers that we are really short-handed, so it's making it really hard keeping up with it.
So you could use some volunteers right now, huh?
We could use a lot of volunteers right now.
How does a person volunteer, and do they have any qualifications?
There's no qualifications other than loving animals, you know. That's all we want, is that you care about the animals.
What types of jobs would they be doing?
Cleaning kennels, feeding and watering, taking the dogs out and playing with them. We really like to have our dogs played with and exercise and that, because it gets them used to being handled, and gets a lot of our dogs come in afraid of things. So we want to get them used to being handled and loved and knowing that they're loved.
As far as donations, how's that going too?
Our donations haven't been bad. Yeah. We could always use more. You know, we got a lot of dogs, and we could always use, you know, more everything. We've been going through a lot of food lately because we got a lot of large dogs.
So if people want to find out more, how can they get in touch with you?
They can call us at 775-253-5051, or they can go into our store. We're located at 2031 Gamebird Road on the corner of Vicky Ann.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
We've had some pretty good temperatures out there. We're going to meet with John right after this break to find out what's in store for the rest of the week.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios on October 4th. That's 10-4, good buddy. Yeah, International Friendship Day. If you know a trucker, give him a big honk, honk. There you go. Look at the weather map. Lovely stuff coming up and down the state. Fernley, Fallon, Carson City, you're all stuck down there in the low 80s. Tonopah, notable standout, 76 degrees. Nice and cool. You got the Cool Spot Award. Out in Goldfield, 79 degrees. Beatty's got 86. Lower 90s in Amargosa and Las Vegas. And Death Valley up to a cool 100 degrees. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, it's 86 degrees. Current temperature, it was 89 earlier, and that was lovely. Actually, the wind's coming out of the south, 13 miles per hour. Nice and cool. Beautiful fall day. Sun rose this morning at 6:42 a.m., and it'll set this evening right around 6:22. There you go. 12 hours, 20 minutes of night. Congratulations, night people. 61 degrees is where we're heading tonight. Humidity kicking up to 25% as we head on into the evening. Does that mean clouds tomorrow? Yeah, probably. Clouds, clouds, clouds. And look at Friday. We're actually going to see a dip in the temperature of about 10 degrees from the current trends and chance of rain. And they're saying 24% this far out. Generally, it means we're going to have some rain on Thursday, too. You'll see it. Saturday, Sunday, wind shift, blow out all the clouds coming in from the north. Temperatures starting to recover. We'll head back up to about 80 degrees early next week. It'll be wonderful, as always, here in the Paradise of Pahrump. All right, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
All right, Facebook and everything is back up. We'll see you here tomorrow. Good night.